You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome into Greeny Sports Cards Live, coming to as we do every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And we are entering year 2 of Greeny Sports Cards Live, doing this every Tuesday night across multiple streams. And couldn't be prouder of how this little engine has evolved. And we continue to bring you hobby influencers and sports personalities, coaches, players, athletes, entertainers, and news from the world of the collectible industry, both Greeny and I, who will be here shortly. And so thank you for your support and Happy New Year to all. My name is Jeremy Levine. I am the co-host here on Greeny Sports Cards Live, along with Steve Greenberg, aka Greeny, who will be joining us. And we've got another jam-packed show for you this evening, and very excited to do that as well as we kick off 2026. We're going to be talking about some of the signature events that will be coming up this year to keep an eye on, particularly the Greeny Sports Cards team shows throughout the country. And we're going to welcome in Joe Wysmierski, our hobby insider, to bring you all the news that's fit to print or digitally share with your networks as well. Joe will talk about his anticipation for the hobby this year, as well as break some news and share some news, and do that via Phoenix Sports Cards out there towards the West Coast. We will welcome in James Ferree from Sports Wax Promotions to talk about his growing events down in the southern part of the country. And very excited to welcome back Alex Tressler, aka Army ATC 22. Alex has been with us a couple of times across the years. He was with us at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention last year on site. And we'll talk about that and what to expect from that show this year. That's going to be pretty awesome, as we shared some breaking news over the last 2 weeks on what's going on with that show. So lots to get to between Alex and James and Joe and Greeny. And we will also welcome in, we anticipate, Adam Byers from the Greeny Sports Cards team to talk about the shows of a full slate, 31 shows on the Greeny Sports Cards calendar in 2026. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome in the man himself, Steve Greenberg, aka Greeny, the namesake of this show and Greeny Sports Cards itself.
Happy Tuesday, Jeremy.
Good evening, Greeny.
Good evening. Happy New Year to everybody
Tuesday
as well.
Yeah, we flipped the calendar. Here we are. And really cool show last week, Greeny. For anybody who missed it, you certainly can go back on any of the socials and catch it. We did a recap and highlights from 2025, and what an amazing year that was.
Unbelievable. Over 25 shows, NIL cards, finished year 2 of being on Greeny Sports Cards Live, and put in a lot of work for what's to happen in 2026. And this would be great for the preview show. So, here's where we are. We're going to preview all things coming 2026.
Yeah, lots to get to, including major shows across the country, both produced by Greeny Sports Cards and, of course, other entities throughout the year, including the National Sports Collectors Convention, and you've got Fanatics Fest coming back, and lots of action across the hobby industry, and it continues to grow. So looking forward to catching up with Joe, and of course Alex and James and Adam, and just talking what to expect and anticipate, and some of their highlights that they're looking forward to in 2026. In the meantime, we want to thank not only all of our viewers that can contribute to the show, whatever social platform you're on. You can comment, you can interact with the show. If you have any questions for our guests or for us about any of the events or topics, please drop those in the comment section and be added to the show. But we can't do this without our sponsors as well. We want to thank in particular Giannino's Pizzeria for their continued support of Greeny Sports Cards Live.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm a year older now, so Mommy can give me Giannino's pizza. Hey, whoever thought of making a great tasting Giannino's pizza with all these fresh ingredients? They gotta be some kind of genius. More, Mommy!
Every Giannino's pizza is made with fresh dough, delicious tomato sauce without additives or preservatives, and fresh provolone cheese shredded daily. For a location near you, go to Gianninos.com.
You want a piece of me?
Our thanks to Giannino's. Great pizza, pasta, salads, and all kinds of great stuff. If you're anywhere in Ohio or surrounding areas, make sure you check out any of their locations online. And Greeny mentioned lots to get to tonight, so let's get right to it. Let's go ahead and welcome in our resident hobby expert, Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Sports Cards, and just talk about what he's looking forward to this year, and any news that he has to share.
Joe, happy New Year.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Thank you, gentlemen. Happy New Year. It's great to be back and to have some news to share with you. Obviously, right in your backyard, some record-breaking news happened this past weekend with Myles Garrett, which has set his cards aflame in the market, in the hobby market, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Myles Garrett doesn't have a lot of autos that are
not rookies.
Yeah,
not rookies.
So,
this year, though, he does. He's got more, but I don't know if it was last year or this year. One of them was his first autographs, and yeah,
it's exciting. They're on eBay. They were flying off. Like, you were just seeing great prices for it, and he well-deserved record, right? So doesn't have the. I mean, I believe he took it away from T.J. Watt. Is that correct?
Well, he took it away from Michael Strahan,
And Michael Strahan,
who
right? But they had it shared. Were they shared? I mean,
yeah, him and T.J. Watt were shared. Right.
Yeah, Michael Strahan was given that last sack, right? So, I mean, you guys have all seen the clip that has
T.J. Watt
viral.
got his, absolutely.
Yeah, with Mark
he
Gaston.
was. And Joe, my quick commentary on that is, Strahan will hang his hat on the 16-game season versus 17. But if you look at the amount of plays comparatively that it took to get to each of those sacks totals, it's pretty remarkable. I don't have it offhand, but Myles is somewhere in the 430, 460 range, and then it goes up from there. 600 plays for Watt and Strahan, well above that. So I thought that was a more important perspective, that Myles got there in about 100 plays less, regardless of how many games played.
By the way, did you see him run down the field with Devin Bush? A man that size, how fast he ran down the field.
Yes.
As a lead blocker. Yeah.
Does that make him a shoo-in for the MVP? Defensive MVP?
Probably player of the year. They won 5 games this year. I can't imagine them handing an award to somebody
I know
that valuable.
But I might hand him the ball off at the goal line now.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's absolutely
maybe John
fair.
Harbaugh will do that next year.
Is he? Well, is he coming to Cleveland?
I mean, he's not the coach of the Ravens anymore.
I know there's a lot of excitement that he could make
Nobody
a big
has
splash.
more money and does more dumb things than Jimmy Haslam. If Jimmy Haslam wants John Harbaugh, he will get John Harbaugh.
Yeah, he did great with a great.
Reportedly, Harbaugh has just purchased a house in Strongsville, Ohio,
I've heard
a
that.
la Bill Cowher, so he must be coming.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, guys, when we talk about football, just what's on the horizon for this new year, Panini's about to end their run and their license with the NFL, but it's definitely going to go out with a bang. In January alone, we have the release of Immaculate Football, and then we also will have Prism Football. It was supposed to be released this week, but they pushed it to next week, the 16th. But if Prism Football is anything like what they did with Prism Black Basketball, the price may be worth, the chase, honestly. Excuse me, Prism Black Basketball now is selling, I think, for over $12,000 a case. And this brought all different case hits into one product: mangas, color blast, Prism Mania. All these type of cards have been in that product. And from what is kind of being teased right now, you're going to see color blasts, Prism Mania, that kind of stuff in Prism Football. And I think Cam Ward is the only real holdout from having autographs in the product.
Fine. Right?
I mean, Cleveland, if you're buying into breaks, Steve, Cleveland may be expensive. You have two quarterbacks and you have Judkins.
Arguably.
But for the hobby's sake, right?
Quarterback.
So
they both play quarterback.
That could be expensive. And we were also talking about this too. If you were to think about, if you're a New Orleans Saints collector, and I do this because I rib our general manager, Ray, all the time. But if Prism would have come out earlier on in the season before Tyler Shuck did anything.
That came out of nowhere.
And so this might be a good thing for collectors, not only people who are buying and selling, but people who are true collectors for the Saints. He may be an autograph that is just littered throughout this product. It may not be as much of a chase as like a Jackson Dart might be. But this guy went from a plus 8,000 Vegas odds to be the rookie of the year to, I think he's minus 120, and he's either tied or right behind Tet McMillan from the Carolina Panthers. So you're going to see, you're going to see in Immaculate and in Prism, those are two marquee products. And I forgot to also mention Select is still on the horizon with National Treasures and Flawless. And all of this needs to happen before April. So this could be crazy, crazy spring. Absolutely, Steve. And then we also have, on the baseball side, we have Bowman Draft that comes out this month too. So Bowman Draft, that has the opportunity to be a lottery ticket for some people. And in Bowman Draft, you're really playing the prospect game, and you're playing the first Bowman game. So it's a product that really doesn't ever miss, but it's definitely a high risk, high reward type product.
Most of those guys don't get called up this year. I mean, you never know. It could be. I mean, I know Nick Kurtz was a year out of the draft before he came up. So you never know. I mean, you can get somebody called up and their cards can be on fire.
Yeah.
Adam will tell you when he gets on. He's a big proponent of selling those guys right now. Open them and sell them. They're as hot as they're ever going to be, right?
Amen. And guess what? You can always buy it back. I promise you they print enough. You can buy it back. And a prime example would be Jackson Holiday. When he initially made his major league debut, like, that was the biggest buzz around him. And then he didn't do as well as they thought he was. Now, he's a great baseball player, but he's never going to get that hype and value back as when he first made his debut. Same with Caglione. Caglione's going to come back. He's going to be a great baseball player, but he's never going to sell as high as that first major league debut.
Everyone's going to tell you, well, look at Aaron Judge. He is the anomaly, right? Yeah. I sold Aaron Judge rookie autos for $10 because he got sent down to the minors and he stunk. he is the exception to the rule. Everybody
Yeah.
else sell, not sell.
I don't want to talk about that. That was one of my biggest. I held a Saquon Barkley rookie select RPA, and a guy wanted to trade an Aaron Judge PSA 10 rated rookie auto purple, and I was like, nah.
Couldn't hit.
Yeah.
Sent him down. Yeah.
But that's, I mean, it's going to be hot and heavy in the spring here,
That's
and coming out the gate in the new year, Steve. I mean, first of all, here's a word of the wise: you better have money, right? If you're going to jump into breaks, if you're going to buy boxes, even if you're going to flip, but it's going to be really exciting too, because I don't see a shortage of people. Like we were talking earlier, our shop has never been busier. We're constantly people coming through the doors, products coming off the shelf. As much as people want to argue and be upset about the cost of boxes, I get it, but people are also doing really well too. Like when I see the boxes are opening in person, I mean, Topps Chrome Basketball, I saw a gentleman last week open a box. He had a true gold Allen Iverson auto in there. I know the box is more, but I mean, that card alone was almost $500. The next guy hit it was a Kevin Durant true gold Houston Rockets auto. It's a redemption, but someone was asking almost $2,000 for that card online. Like, I mean, Topps is doing a good job with the products, I have to say. It is expensive, but they're doing a good job.
Yeah, new products are expensive. It's just the way it is. And that's across the board, right? It's not just basketball.
Now, Steve, I do have to tell you, and I've brought this up several times before, but I finally got a chance to go into that Dick's House of Sports out here.
Sure.
It was wild. Number one, I brought my whole team, my fam, and my wife couldn't. Yeah, my starting five, and my wife couldn't understand why they had so much inventory and where the prices were. But they also had singles, and all the singles, they were probably about 20 to 30% higher than the market. This is where, I mean, it was great. The whole setup was great, but where they're missing the point there, Dick's, is I couldn't even talk to the guy that was working there because he didn't have a clue about what the stuff was, and it wasn't his fault. He's just like, I don't know.
Right. They don't have card guys there.
But Steve, they had graded stuff there. I mean,
their singles are all graded, right?
Yes, it was wild. And they had high value wax, like hobby boxes. Like it was crazy, not just retail stuff. I was really shocked, but you know, when you talk about introducing more and more people to the hobby, you're going to have someone who is going to walk upstairs to go buy $200 baseball cleats, and they're going to trickle by a box of baseball cards that they see for $40 to $60 and be like, hey, I'm going to take a shot, and it's going to be no sweat to them. And now you're going to have someone who's interested in the hobby. Like it's crazy, Steve. I mean, I can definitely see the hobby continuing to grow. The other big news is I know you guys transitioned to Card Show Live is the Front Row Card Show announced that in June they're going to be at the Cardinal Stadium.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Big time. Yeah. And then Cole's going to do his show at Bank One. What is that called now? Chase Field. One. Yeah. Right. Like that's terrific. That is good stuff heading out there in the Valley.
Yeah. And you know what's sandwiched, you know what's beautiful and what's sandwiched right in the middle is the Great Lake Collectors Convention is right in the middle of those two shows. So if you're looking to kind of get out of the snow and come to the state card show, then you can bounce back in spring to the Great Lake Collectors Convention. Then you can come on back before we start to get a little hot in June, and you can check out the stadium. There, I just mapped out your card shows for the year.
There you go.
Those are definitely
Joe, I was
some
going to ask
underrated.
you what you went to your first national last year and took in that experience. Great stuff on the Front Row Card Show announcement and sharing that. What areas of the country are you, if you could travel, what are the hotbeds this year? Maybe a newer hotbed that you're hearing about. If you could get out to shows, what would you look forward to this year?
I think I've heard that the Chantilly show actually is moving locations. I believe if Is it Chantilly? I think it's
It is.
Chantilly.
You're
Yeah,
right.
and they're moving locations. So I'd be interested in that. I know Philadelphia's had crazy growth at their show. But then also maybe going to the National in Nashville. I think that could be cool. You know, really everything, it's all over the place, Jeremy. Like you could see there's probably a need for shows in the Pacific Northwest. Like we have so many people that come down from Washington State and they just say, yeah, we've got local we have shops, but there's a need for a big show up there. And you also have our friends of the North, or Canadian friends, that would come over across the border, and they love to buy stuff too, because in Canada, you know, they have their national in Toronto, which would be a great show to attend. But that's their big kind of get together for all the Canadian collectors, is in Toronto, but that doesn't really service the western part of their country either.
Front Row does a show
Yeah.
in Tacoma, which
Okay.
is kind of a big deal. But you're right. Other than that, I mean, there's got to be something, and you know, yeah, who knows? I think they're going to do a show in Portland, Oregon, Portland somewhere. So
How about
who knows?
Reno? Do one in Reno. Let's go, baby. Washout County.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah,
But-
Joe, this isn't directed at you, but these things aren't. It's easier said than done, right? We have a tremendous amount of respect for show producers and promoters, and we've said this. Anybody who puts their capital, both intellectual and financial, on the line to create an environment for the hobby, we have a lot of respect for that. And it's not an easy thing to do. And we say that as show producers that are in this game. There's only a handful of producers around the country that could really handle the logistics of doing a large event, a 200 plus table, 300, 500 tables. And it's exciting for the hobby that there's a demand in that. But at some point, it's got to be a quality show as well, and have the right vendors and mix of content and offerings.
Well, to that point, Jeremy, also, and I know you guys, and I know Steve personally has done this, but one of my buddies, BJ Kroger, he's reached out to, and they've had conversations, and BJ's he's in the middle of the country, and he's trying to do his thing. But I think the more that you have seasoned professionals who do this at a high level, and like Greeny Sports Cards that put on 30 shows plus a year, right? Like the more that you can pour into newer promoters and that kind of stuff is just going to make it that much bigger and better for the hobby. And it makes collaborations like, what if Greeny and James coming up for you guys, what if you guys collabed on something huge in the Southeast, right?
Sure.
That could be huge. It's two mega powers coming together. Let's go, baby.
Wonder Twins. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to play the tape for him when James gets in. We can talk about that. Joe, let everybody know where they can find you after this terrific segue into events and upcoming events.
Yeah, you can find us at 59th and Thunderbird in Glendale, Arizona, Phoenix Sports Cards, or at PHX Sports Cards on Instagram. And then also you can find me on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sports Cards Nonsense. Cut the nonsense, baby. And we'll be live as usual every Wednesday. And I appreciate you guys.
It's a fun show. I watched it last week. You and Danny Black did a great job on there. Was Gio even on last week?
No, and we kicked him off again this week. The numbers were so good. We just said we'll do it without you this week, Mike.
Listen, don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, you're the star of the show, and so anyway, great stuff. I enjoy the show, and Collectibles on SI. We enjoy Danny Black's as well. So
awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep. See you then.
Yeah. We appreciate Joe Wysmierski, Phoenix Sports Cards, joining us. I mentioned Cut the Nonsense. We also appreciate Collectibles on SI for their support as our presenting sponsor. Head over to si.com/collectibles for the latest in hobby news and releases, and stay on top of the hobby with Collectibles on SI. So really good stuff. Greeny, we want to welcome in here. Of course, later on, we're going to get to Alex Tressler, Army ATC 22, get to talk to him about what he's looking forward to this year. James Ferree, Sports Wax Promotions, will be on to talk about his shows and what he's looking forward to. But before that, we want to bring in Adam Byers of Greeny Sports Cards and talk about the lay of the land for those 31 shows on the calendar currently, and get a sense for what those are, because there's everything from the local shows here, 50 table kind of smaller shows, all the way up to your 200, 300 plus mega shows. So let's go ahead and bring in Adam and say good evening.
Yeah.
Adam Byers, welcome into Greeny Sports Cards Live.
He's almost centered. There he is.
Trying to find the centering. There we go.
There
Evening.
he is. Yeah. So,
how's everybody
Jeremy, good. As you stated, I may make these videos and I may, state all the things, and you see me on Facebook, but everyone talks to Adam, and he's the one that puts together the roster of these shows and puts them in their table places and keeps tracks of the vendor rewards points. So we're going to go over all of that and kind of, figure out and tell you guys what we have going on for 2026. And there's our calendar. We have, as you can see, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 locations that we're doing this year. 31 shows. It's like the old 3WE, Jeremy, 58 states and half of Canada, it feels like. So,
yeah, for sure. And so, Adam, let's talk about layering this in. We got about 5 minutes here to frame this up. So let's start with the local show here, Kirtland. Talk about that briefly, and then we'll kind of scale up from there.
Kirtland's a fun little show. It's 40 some odd tables. It's good for kids. It's good for the casual collector, but there's high-end stuff there too for, the big dog money players coming in to buy. But it's just a good, fun show. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. It's $30 for an 8-foot table, or $25 for a 6-foot table, and it's 9 to 2. I mean, it's as easy as it comes. You come in, throw your stuff on the table, and they come.
It serves its purpose. It is
sidebar.
It's a community show.
On at Glen Eagles in Twinsburg on the 19th. That's MLK Day. Let's scale up to the Broadview Heights shows. And so now those have essentially split. It's a room that accommodates 100 tables. Talk about, you've got the Broadview Heights show, which is primarily sports, and then the TC Greeny in that same room that's dedicated to TCG and Pokemon. Yeah,
so both of those shows are around 100 tables. The big thing for people to understand is TC Greeny is the Pokemon only show. There's not going to be a sports cards in the building. There's sports guys that show up to that show, and I have to tell them, like, sorry, man, this is only Pokemon. But for the Broadview Heights sports and Pokemon, what we're going to do is we're going to work on making the room 75% sports, 25% Pokemon, TCG, or other, and that's, we got to get the sports vendors to fill the spots. If, that's our goal, and we're going to make that commitment to the community and the hobby, but we need a little help too.
Yeah.
So that's
because
Broadview Heights,
people have said that,
and
right?
Then,
yeah.
Yeah. So you've got, that was Broadview Heights. And then let's talk a little bit about Greeny has taken over the full slate of shows at Great Northern Mall. There will be 5 this year. The first of those is coming up January 16th through 17th. A little bit of a different dynamic, free admission, free parking, and talk about the show there at Great Northern Mall.
Yeah, and I mean, Great Northern, it's a live mall. There's plenty of places to eat. There's plenty of places to go to the bathroom. There's plenty of places to park. It's a very, very live mall, which there's not a lot of them anymore. The food court's awesome. I mean, you have 100 different places you can get sushi, the natural Sbarro, but there's a steak hoagie place. I mean, there's so much to do there. There's a kids fun zone. I still need to take my kids to it, but yeah, I mean, it's a good family day if you're looking to get the family out and the wife and kids want to go look at the kid fun zone, and dad and the older kids want to look at sports cards and Pokemon. It's a perfect show for you. And our friends over at Sweets and Geeks have a huge store there. You know, they've got everything that you can imagine in there, from sweets to baseball cards and everything. They're good dudes. Jim's a good dude.
Absolutely. And so we won't spend a lot of time in detail on the next couple of shows. We want to mention them. They are the mega shows. There's going to be plenty of time to talk about them in detail. But the first one coming up, very exciting, is the Ohio State Card Show, a new launch Saturday, January 31st. What can we expect on this one down in Columbus?
We are almost at 200 tables. If not, I wasn't there today, so we might have gone over 200 tables, but we're right at the cusp of it. We've got, what'd you say? We have 17 sponsors. I mean, this show is going to be huge. It's a 10 to 5 show. It's in the heart of Columbus. You know, it's going to be awesome. And then I think there's a show in Grove City the next day. So if you're coming from out of town, there's no reason to not stay the night. Come to our show on Saturday, go to Grove City, which is real short drive away. Those are good dudes with Brad over there at B
Card
Sports,
Collector
Card Collector too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's another fun-filled weekend that, you know, you can take the family to.
So really looking forward to that one. We want to briefly mention the Medina County Collectors Fair. That'll take place May 29th through 30th. That's a combination of sports and Pokemon and 3D printing and all kinds of pop culture stuff. And then the Mountain State Collectors Convention, there's 2 editions of that this year. Touch on that one.
We can fit as many tables as we want in this building. You know, last year, the city was so nice and so much fun. And, you know, that really enhanced the experience for me. I mean, and I think you guys too. I mean, the city was so much fun and the show was fun. I mean, the people are just different down in West Virginia. I went to school there for 2.5 years. It's just a different world down there. And it's a fun place for you to take your family.
Yeah, we love Charleston.
Yeah,
we loved everything about it. We look forward to being back there twice next year. And then I'll touch briefly on the last one. The Great Lakes Collectors Convention and the Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention. We are merging. So we are going to have 2 shows in one building. There'll be a vintage side. There'll be a modern TCG side. And what an absolute mecca for the hobby that's going to be that weekend, with the greatest vintage dealers in the country and some of the best modern dealers all under one roof at the Independence Fieldhouse. So we can't wait for that super show to happen April 10th through the 12th.
Yeah, if you're in our area and you're not excited about that show and you're into cards, then I don't know what you're doing. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's going to be awesome. Adam, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and thank you for all you do for Greeny Sports Cards behind the scenes, much like the rest of the team that doesn't get enough credit for all the work and the heavy lifting they do.
Thank you. I like being behind the scenes too, though.
Very good. We appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Talk to everybody soon.
See you then.
All right. Our thanks to Adam Byers from Greeny Sports Cards. We want to keep it moving here, Greeny. We want to thank Sport Cards. If you look to turn card collection into serious cash, make sure you reach out and jump online at sportcardauctions.com. And whether it is vintage or modern or TCG, they'll give you the professional service you deserve. Competitive consignment rates, and their team is experienced. They've got over 15 years and a 99% customer satisfaction rating. So get to sportcardauctions.com, where your cards get the spotlight you deserve, and you can get the cash you deserve and hope out of your cards as well. Greeny, looking forward to our next guest tonight. He's been on the show before. He was at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention with us last year, and interested to hear his thoughts on, from what he saw last year, the show is essentially doubled in size in 1 year and different components. But our next guest, Alex Tressler, aka Army ATC 22, is a collector whose passion and personality have made him a standout voice in the hobby. He blends military precision with hobby enthusiasm and creates content that resonates with collectors across multiple platforms, from breaking boxes to building communities. Alex has carved out a unique lane as both a storyteller and a connector in the sports cards world. So we are honored to welcome back our friend Alex Tressler.
How's it going?
Good. Happy New
guys
Year
hear
to
me?
you, Alex.
Happy New Year to you. Can you guys hear me? Everything good? Because I got a new setup. Like I'm starting to try and
Perfect. Well, we're glad to be the tester. It works. It works. So we appreciate you joining us. We want to preview 2026, but before we do that, let's wrap up 2025. How many shows did you attend last year?
Oh, I've been asked this questions before, and I keep forgetting to actually count. I'd have to say it's in the 40s range.
Okay.
It started off in the beginning of the year. I was trying to do just like one a month, and then it just turned into two, and then I had a break between a month, and all of a sudden I did 3 a month, and it was pretty crazy. But I enjoy it. I love being around everybody and seeing the magic happen at these shows. And man, I'm excited for this year.
Yeah. So let's touch on that. We obviously know the major ones, right? The Nationals in the middle of the summer, surrounded by Fanatics Fest and some other things. But what are some of the things that you're looking forward to this year that you've already kind of planned out? We know that you're going to be at James's show here coming up, and we'll talk about that. But what's on your agenda for this year?
Well, of course, since I do work with CSA and the Philly show, they're 3 per year that they do. Unfortunately, I can't make it back up to your show because it's the same weekend as the CSA show.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Fingers crossed or whatever. And if not, maybe you guys can have me again, right? There's the
Of course.
Right.
There's always an open invitation.
I appreciate that. No, I'm looking forward to, I want to expand a little bit more. I tell everybody, and it's the same thing. Any show promoters that are watching this and stuff, it's hard for me to go from where I'm at to somewhere else because I still have a 9-to-5 job. Everyone you see that does content and influencers and everything else like that, right? This is what they do for a living. This isn't what I do for a living. This part of it is what I do for fun. This is what I enjoy. And I want to get more, the stories from around the country out there. So I'm hopefully be able to expand a little bit farther west, because if you guys see, a lot of my shows are on the East Coast. There are, because I can get to them, pretty quick in my vehicle. Right now I'm looking forward to, it's in the works and looking like it's possibly going to happen. I might be going to spring training in Arizona and going to the Arizona State Card Show out there. So I'm super excited about that because I've never been to spring training on top of it. So the show out there is at Chase Field. It's where the Diamondbacks play, and they're going to have a whole bunch of activations there on top of it. So looking forward to that in March. Trying to get to Nashville. I've never been to Nashville, to their big shows they've had. And of course, plenty of individuals that are in that area, that are in this industry and stuff that I'd love to just, hang out with in that area and stuff. So, but other than that, I want to try to go to shows I've never been to. Right. I can continue to go to the same shows that I go to every year and everything. But I want to, if I'm going to have a platform to show off shows, I want to help individuals that people might not know of.
Yeah, no doubt.
Alex,
go ahead, Jeremy.
There's we're talking a lot about shows, but one thing I did want to ask you, there's a growing chasm in the industry and the hobby of a ridiculous amount of money and billions of dollars that are exchanging hands. And you've got this sort of top level of a lot of money being invested. For the enthusiasts, the people who are passionate about collecting, where's the opportunity in 2026 that you see for people that just enjoy the hobby, that have a little bit of a discretionary income, but aren't playing in the top of the landscape with these $1 million cards? Where can people look forward to enjoying the hobby this year?
So it's like it's in my lane. Individuals that aren't in the, I tell everybody when you go to a show, you probably have 97% of the individuals that don't want to spend more than maybe $200 on a card. Everyone else, middle America, hardworking individuals, they don't want to spend their whole paycheck on one card. So it's that lovely little, dollar all the way up to about, you know, 150 range. You know, find what you feel is going to be either a good investment, a collecting item that you want to, or you know, maybe, yeah, like I said, good investment, take a flyer. You know, you also gotta remember the times of the year. You know, NFL season's literally winding down right now. So the dip's going to happen for a lot of these, you know, players, especially it's wild. Everyone forgets, like, okay, they're going to win this. When Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl multiple times, right after the Super Bowl, his prices still dipped before they went back up before the preseason, for training camp. So look at the time frames when everything, like right now, I think everyone should be buying baseball, because why? The hype for baseball is about to happen again. So just do your research, you know, figure out who do you think, you know, is going to be good this year, and then go with your gut. In the end, you have data for the cards, but in the end, any purchase you make, it's your opinion on if that card's probably going to go up or not.
All right, that's absolutely. Yeah, we're 30 days from pitchers and catchers roughly. So yeah, now's the time to buy those guys. Let's talk about the National real quick. We have already heard they have broken records for how many tickets have already been pre-sold for the National this year. We know last year it was completely packed. We knew that the year before. What do you see happening this coming end of July, beginning of August in Chicago?
I haven't been privy to too much stuff. I just know that, you know, they are expanding more. Of course, they're adding a little bit more tables. They got a lot of good feedback they got good and bad feedback from upstairs, you know, the single tables. One, they loved it. Two, the aisles are too short. They're going to fix that, right? They tried it out and everything. They're going to fix that. So that's one good thing. The other side, there was a lot of room over there. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're going to be putting stuff over there, maybe some more corporate and everything else like that. I'm hoping to see more activations. I'm hoping to see more stuff like the Giannis coming out with eBay Live, right? And being in there and be able to do a Q&A with the individuals out there in the open. I know kind of that's what Fanatics Fest does, you know, bringing the athletes around and stuff. I'd like to see more, because we have more collectors that are in this hobby that are professional athletes now, that hopefully they can get there and they get to experience it. And then what people aren't thinking about is, I look at all avenues. Like I'm gonna put the post out. It's gonna be our third year that we're going to do the game prior to on Tuesday night prior to the National starting. The Yankees are in town. The Yankees are against the White Sox in the beginning of the week, and then they're against the Cubs at the end of the week. So hopefully, for you Yankee fans, maybe some of those Yankee players can come through and actually be signers. So who knows?
You know, we never get actual attendance figures, but the eye test tells you we're breaking records year after year, and I anticipate even again this year.
Yeah, that video Jeff Wilson posted was like day 2, showing the line that went all the way around the convention center, right? When he was walking over the causeway, it went viral because, you know, everyone came out of Fanatics Fest a month prior saying the National is going to be behind the curve. And I'm just like, oh, again, I've talked about this a million times. Fanatics Fest is an incredible sports fan festival. I love it. It's incredible. I got to be in the Fanatics games. But you got to remember, about 75% of the people are coming for the sports. 25% are probably coming for the cards.
Right.
95% are coming for the cards at the National. That's the main.
That's right. Alex, we're going to talk to James Ferree here from Sports Wax Promotions coming up. We're going to ask him obviously about his shows, but you got a testimony yourself. So let's ask you, what is it about James' shows that's so terrific, and talk a little bit about what he's doing down south.
I have been on record, have told a million people, I don't know how many people have heard me. He is nothing against you guys. He is one of the best, if not the best promoter in the world, period, for sports, for shows. The amount of work he puts in, and this is funny, he's going to laugh when I'm saying this. The amount of work that he puts in a show shows it, because he changes his shirt 3 times at the show because he's sweating so much running around everywhere, making sure everything's going well, right? You know, he has his drone up behind him, you know, walking around capturing, you know, the deals are happening. You know, some of the innovative stuff that they have, they give little wristbands to people to the kids and stuff that are really into Pokemon. And then when Pikachu is roaming around the floor taking pictures, your wristband lights up so you know he's on the floor. There's cool things like that he's doing, and it's just the giveaways that he does, and every vendor always has an incredible time, and everyone is coming in with a smile and leaving with a smile. I have been to now, I think, 3 or 4 of his shows, and I told him, like, I'm coming to every one. If I have availability, I'm going to be there, because it just, you know, when that aura, you know, that comes out, that's incredible. Like, you want to be around it. And he is that promoter that I hope so many people are going to be like in the future.
We love to learn. Yeah.
I'm going to scrap the planned introduction that I had, and we're going to go. This is a perfect segue to bring in James himself.
Yes!
So if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, let's say hello to James Ferree, Sports Wax Promotions.
What's up, fellas? How are we?
We are terrific. I know Jeremy always has a planned introduction, but I think Alex topped Jeremy this time with that introduction. Thanks for joining us again, James. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Man, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm actually at a high school basketball game. I do some mentoring and I actually do PA announcements. But I'm here with you guys because, you know, I love the hobby and I appreciate the opportunity. Alex, listen, dude, you got to chill out, bro. You're going to make me look bad if somebody comes and has a bad time at my show, dude. I swear, bro.
It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
My man, I love it, baby. I love it. Thank you so much. You've been to 3 shows to date, my friend, and I cannot wait to have you at more. Thank you so much, man, for hanging out with me at the Sports Wax shows, my friend.
It's coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm excited.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Next weekend.
Let's kind of go. We want to ask you a couple questions about the hobby in general, but let's go through your calendar. What can people expect from Sports Wax Promotions in 2026?
Okay, so 2026, our very first show is next weekend in Greensboro, North Carolina, 400 tables. We're going to have UFC star Josh Emmett, also known as One Punch Cards or at One Punch Cards on Instagram. He streams, he breaks UFC. It's going to be a great addition to the show and a great experience for those that are into UFC cards or into the UFC. So that's going to be really fun. Over the spring, I don't have any shows announced, but I do have shows planned. So being kind of sneaky with that, a really, really dope venue in the works for April. So guys, be ready for that. In June, we're going back to our Concord Arena. June 5th through 7th, it's going to be 500 plus tables. The last show there was 539. So we're going to try to break that record in June. July 11th through 12th, we're going to be in our home show, Mooresville, North Carolina, 225 tables. It's at the lake. Everybody loves the lake. We always have a good time there in the summer. And it's actually the weekend before Fanatics Fest. I had it the following weekend, and then Fanatics Fest changed their dates. So I changed my dates as to not conflict with Fanatics Fest. And then in August, we're going to be back in Myrtle Beach with my man Mike Wilder, August 7th and 8th, over 450 tables there. In 2025, we had Dennis Rodman, William Shatner, Ricky Williams, and more. So hopefully we'll blow that place back up again. And then October 9th through 11th, back at the Cabarrus Arena, 500 tables. And another little thing that I really, really am going to enjoy doing is in November. I wanted to do it this past year, but this November, we're going to have what I like to call the Vendies. It's going to be a vendor award show for all of our vendors that have participated with us in the year of 2026. We're going to do a People's Choice Award and a lot of other awards. It's going to be a really, really fun time. We're going to do that in Mooresville, North Carolina at the end of the year. So that is our 2026 show calendar.
Let me just step in real quick. That show, the weekend after the National, everyone wants to take a break. I'm telling you, because I went to it. And my highest viewed video has 5.4 million views from that show.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that the combination with Mike Wilder that he does with bringing in the athletes on top of James with all the vendors and everything was just a perfect match. And everyone that can't make it to the National are out looking for cards. That place was packed and it was incredible. And it's a hidden gem, Myrtle Beach, the weekend after the National. Don't take a break until after that.
Listen, for as many people that go to the National, there's that many that can't go.
Correct.
So, right, that's not a bad weekend to have a show.
Mm-hmm.
James, when
so that is our 2026 gambit. She said, "Where's the hat?"
No, I said, when do you work in a nap?
Oh, when? I don't know, dude. I do a lot, and I really enjoy it, though, man. It's rewarding to have so much to do, my friend. If I didn't have anything to do, what kind of life would that be, right?
Yeah, I'll ask you a similar question from earlier. I posed to Joe. So we can relate to you being constantly on the go, producing your own shows. It takes a special mindset to be present at the shows, but to be projecting 6 months, 8 months, a year or two into the future, and have sort of that dual mindset. When you can get away and through your enthusiasm in the hobby, what are you interested in seeing this year out in the world? Perhaps going to a show or attending shows or getting to a hobby shop. What gets you excited when you're not working on the shows themselves?
So it's a weird question, man, because honestly, all I like to do is work on the shows. And I know that, obviously there's downtime there, but I do have other things that kind of keep my interest. But as far as the hobby, I would just like to see a bit more of the, I guess, at least leaning into what you said earlier, like a bit more of the normal stuff, right? The not so crazy high end, so that the normal average person can shop and have a really good time with their kids, and they don't have to come in there and drop $700 or $800 in order to do so. I guess that would be kind of like what I would like to see, outside of my shows, is more of that in the hobby. More affordability, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I think you're right, and I'm glad that Alex even brought that up. I think there is a lot to happen this year with that. We are seeing a lot of vendors that aren't specializing in the high end, which is terrific, right? And you can still now dig through dollar boxes or dig through value boxes that are $50 and under. And I think that we're going to see a lot more vendors in those price points than we are the dual logo man price points. It's just,
I would agree.
Yeah, and that's great, and I think that's terrific for the hobby, and that will give a lot of collectors a chance to really start recollecting.
Absolutely. We have a very good mix at our shows. Like I like to say, we're a home show. I started with 35 tables, so very much homegrown. And a lot of those guys, just like you said, dollar bin, couple, maybe their highest card is $55, $70 or something like that. But we do have a very good mix of vendors. If you are looking for the high end, those guys, I've had people flying in from Ohio, Jersey, and everything else because they're able to find those types of cards. But we do have that regular Joe Schmo collector item. Like, those vendors are definitely in there, and the deals are great. These guys just want to move cards, and they just want to make connections with people. And that's been one of the bigger things that I can say I've heard from feedback of our shows, is the connections with the vendors, and the, after the show, they're still doing deals and things like that because of the affordability from a lot of our guys.
Yeah, that's terrific. I can't wait. One day, we told you this the last time. We're going to make it down to one of your shows. We're going to hang out. We're going to see everybody there. Maybe it'll be a show that Alex is there. Maybe be a show that Ryan Curtis will be down at. But we can't wait to get down that way. Not only for the show, it's cold in Ohio.
You can come down and get you some good weather.
Down here right now.
To the point of what you were saying, like between shows. So like this past fall and in the winter when I didn't have a show, I was doing some things to help streamline a lot of the processes for me as a promoter and make things easier for the vendors and for attendees. So I started using a platform called Tressler, and I really, really enjoy it. It's really streamlined my ticketing process. But for the vendors, man, like the vendor registration process is so smooth. As a promoter, I really appreciate it. It's like 10 less text messages per vendor I have to send out. But they have like a software where the vendors can pick their tables, and you can organize it to where they can just go in, get the tables they want. And you don't have to hear like, oh, you put me in the back. Oh, dude, register a little bit early. You can pick exactly where you want. So that was something that I did spend my off time doing. I do try to spend my off time doing kind of what Alex says, is innovate the show and make the show better, make the experience better, not just for the attendees, but for the vendors. And Treasure has been something that I've really been able to utilize. So shout out to those boys. And if you are a promoter, mention my name and they'll hook you up. I promise. Tell them Sports Wax sent you.
I get it. I love it. You know,
Already
maybe
wrote it
that.
down.
I was gonna
Listen, I'm
say,
telling you,
yeah,
dude, like you guys are running what 36 shows with bro.
something
Like
that.
I'm telling you, it will streamline your process like you would not believe. Dude, my wife has so much more free time. I'm so happy for my wife. She has so much more free time.
It's on Treasure, right? James, it's on Treasure, right?
Yes, on treasure.com. The company is Treasure, but yeah, on treasure.com. They're great guys, man. Like literally, they've changed a lot of the ways my processes just by making them easier and streamlined, especially for the vendors, man. Like the vendors to be able to go and pick their tables. I cannot tell you how much positive feedback I had from that. They can just go pick their tables, pay, and they're done. I mean, like 2 messages, if that, dude. Like an email comes, you approve. It's so awesome, man. I could preach about it all day. I'm sorry.
Listen, that's great. You know, it's definitely something we're going to look into, and you know, maybe that's something that other promoters should look to as well.
It'll make your life a lot easier, dude. Trust me, man. When you get it, you know, you guys know because you do shows, but at scale, man, when you have people just, hey, I want this show, I want this show, I want this show. It's an all day, all night thing. So you know, kudos to all my fellow promoters out there. Like, we rock, guys. We rock.
I said that earlier, James. You know, we were talking about some hotbeds around the country or areas that are underserved, and the reality is we can count on both hands the producers that can actually manage these sizable shows, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for you and for anybody else in this game that deals with all the things that we understand that you have to deal with, but the public never sees, the vendors don't see. There's so many stakeholders, sponsors, vendors, the public, the venues, all the stuff that goes into that. There's only a handful of people that really can manage that, and you're absolutely one of them. And as Alex said, at the top of that list.
I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate the respect. I respect you guys for what you do. You guys run a lot of shows I could not imagine, dude. I cannot imagine.
James, for your Greensboro show, you know, the NC Card Fest, isn't Ricky Steamboat going to have a nice little setup there?
Yes. So Ricky Steamboat Jr., Richie Steamboat, he was going to have a nice display of all of his father's, like some stuff from like WrestleManias over the years, boots, robes. Like he's going to have some really nice stuff. Steamboat Collectibles. Make sure you check him out. Richie Steamboat. He's going to be there with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like boots, all kind of stuff from different WrestleManias, different pay-per-views over the years. All of it's going to be on display. So it's going to be really awesome. So if you're into wrestling or old school wrestling, you know, back in the day, WCW, NWA, come check that out next week, Greensboro Sportsplex, January 17th and 18th.
Yep. I'm definitely
and you can see Alex as well.
Yeah, James first. We just got a couple minutes here. So let everybody know where they could find you, and then Alex will follow up with you as well.
Awesome. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I love doing these interviews. I really do love the platform. I really appreciate it, gentlemen. You can find Sports Wax Promotions at Sports Wax Promotions on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you hop over to YouTube, make sure you check out some of our YouTube videos, about 15 minutes long, of some of our bigger shows from 2025, like 3 of them on there. Check them out.
Perfect. And Alex, where can everybody find you?
You can find me anywhere on the interwebs as Army ATC 22. I do have some information that is going to drop probably within a week or two. That is incredible, huge news, and I can't wait to share that. But I'm doing everything that you can think of: going to shows, go to hobby shops. This year I'm going to focus on the collector a lot more. I'm going to get more stories out there. So contact me, Army ATC 22 on Instagram. It's the easiest way. And if you want to get your story out, we'll connect. We'll figure out a way for me to tell it to the world.
We can't wait for 2026. We appreciate both you guys and everything that you guys do for the hobby. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
Also, before we finish, I always got to finish off as, remember, you are loved. Everyone wants to see you wake up tomorrow. If you're having a bad day, get through it. Wake up tomorrow, and if you need someone to talk to, message me, because I might not even know you, but guess what? I want to hear you tomorrow. So there's a lot of you out there that might need to hear this. Just remember, someone out there wants you to wake up tomorrow, and don't let the hard days win.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Love it.
Perfect way to end.
Thank you, gentlemen. Alex, thank you for your service. Thank you for your message. And James, best of luck on the shows this year. We're with you in spirit on how much work's being done.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much again for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Alex, my man, I'll see you in 2 weeks, baby.
Woo! It's gonna have a blast.
Enjoy.
Sports Wax.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Greeny Sports Cards Live. We will be back next Tuesday at 7, as we do every week. Make sure you check out the auction at 9 o'clock tonight with Alex on eBay Live. Our Alex Schott. He's there live on Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks to James Ferree, Sports Wax Promotions. Thanks to Alex Tressler, Army ATC 22. Thanks to Joe Wysmierski of Phoenix Sports Cards. Thanks to Adam Byers for joining us from Greeny Sports Cards this evening. Thanks to Haley on the board. And thanks to all of you for watching Greeny. May the cards forever be in your favor.
Happy New Year. Can't wait to see everything in 2026. Have a good night, everybody.